Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone.
Morning, everybody.
Yeah, so let me. No, they can't hear it. Can't hear us.
Everlasting portfolio, 566 portfolio, legal partner, one liquid, ID.
Do some muting. There we go. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Or let me do it to Facebook first. I feel like that's always a bit easier.
You look like you're feeling so much better, Lindsay.
It's funny. I just did a post about when I look like this and it looks like I'm so much better, but then I just popped a blood vessel while violently throwing up. And
Oh,
so
no.
don't let my makeup skills make you think otherwise, sadly.
Thank you for showing up for us. There you go. How about that?
Of course. I'm going to the spa later today, so I'm hoping that will make me feel a bit better. My friend and I are going for the evening, so.
Wonderful.
Sounds like a nice treat.
It
Yeah.
is. It's her birthday, and she just had a baby a few months ago, and then this is like one of my last things to do. So we're very excited.
Nice to take that time and just do it. It's important.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. And it was like right before I got on, I'm like, of course I'm gonna pop a blood vessel right
And
now.
then ask her how you want to handle it. It's like you can get her some Slim Sticks if she wants, or she can just see how they handle.
Okay, there we go. I'm like, who is that? Okay. We are, oops, we don't want to be live in that group. Almost went live in a buy and sell group. I'm sure they don't care what we're talking about.
Let's just go for it anyway. Interested people.
What a good strategy. Okay, we are live on Facebook now. Okay, welcome everyone that is on Facebook with us. Those of you that are catching us this as a replay, I know many of you are. So this is going to be our last social media Saturday together, but not our last training, so don't worry. There's lots and lots coming, but we did this last year as well. Remember, we kind of shifted off in the summer months because people are busier. We get like less and less people on the live calls. And I have some more exciting things that we're going to be doing, going to be sharing. There's going to be a lot more on-demand courses for you guys to go through as well as little mini tutorials that I'm going to be building out. So for example, like how to post an Instagram story, how to like change your caption on a Facebook Live, how to post a reel, like things like how to create a poll on your Instagram story. Little tiny videos like this are also now going to be offered so that when you're confused about something and you're like not quite sure what to do, you're going to be able to go and watch some shorter videos like that. You get some longer ones. You're still going to get live training with me as well. So even though this is going away, there's lots of Lindsay to be had, plus some additional ways of working with me too. So I think it's going to be a lot better for everybody, honor everyone's like time. And, at the end of the day, I don't want you guys to feel like you're always sitting on multiple hour-long calls every week, getting so much training. And so a lot of it's going to be really sort of compacted and conduced together and work a lot better together as well, which you're going to see me in what Vita and Tim have up their sleeves for Emerge, for the change in Emerge. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot, I think, more cohesive, all of us working together as a team to train you all. So you feel like you're not like squirreling all over the place. Like, well, Lindsay, talked about this strategy and someone else said this one and someone else is doing that one. So we're going to work together to bring you guys a lot more cohesive, streamlined strategies for your business, which I'm really excited about. So today I wanted to just do some overall strategies in terms of the summer, because this is like the last big hour that we're going to have together. And then you'll be able to ask some questions as well. So I'm going to go ahead and good. I'm glad that you guys feel excited by that change. I'm really excited by it too. Oh my goodness. I have so many things up. There we go. All right. Okay, so this summer months, let's talk about the summer. I want to hear from you guys in the chat, even if you're watching this as a replay on Facebook, or even if you're live there with us. I haven't checked the Facebook yet to see who's live with us. How many of you feel like you tend to dip or drop in sales in the summer months? I want to hear, or maybe you go up. Maybe you feel like it's a busier time for you. Whatever it is, I want to hear from you in the chat. Awesome. Now I have my Facebook up on my phone so I can see those of you that are live on Facebook. Love to hear what you guys are as well. Stay the same, but want to go up. That's good. That's good. At least stays the same. It's been a good time to connect. About the same. Awesome. So what's really like awesome about what you guys are saying is, for the most part, is that you guys see a bit of consistency throughout the summer months. And I will say that that is not super typical for the direct sales industry. So if you do see a dip in your sales in the summer months, know that within direct sales, within retail, these are very common sort of, you know, curves and ebbs and flows that we go through with our sales. And there's a variety of reasons for that, but it's understanding our customers' behavior as well as our own wants and needs, and how can I pair those two together to make sure that not only, you know, do I maybe maintain my business that I typically do throughout the rest of the year, or how do I now, you know, continue to see that increase and that rise in the summer months. And when we think about our business, if we think about it in a 4-quarter, you know, sort of overview, we have to learn those ebbs and flows in our business, right? And typically we see that ebb and flow, especially when we treat our business the same during every quarter, right? So if we treat our business the same all year round, we're going to see those spikes and those hills and valleys a lot more consistently and often, because what might work for you during the holiday season, during, you know, December and January, where the mentality so much is, you know, for example, like, I want to lose weight, like this is my new goals for the year. September can really be like that for people as well. You may benefit from some of that mentality, but if you treat it the same in the summer months or maybe in the spring, you may not see the exact same sort of return on your work. And so we have to look at each of these separately, right? And go, what is the best way for me to work my business in the summer? What is the best way for me to work my business in the fall, right? It's the holiday season, very, very busy selling time in that first quarter of the year, etc. And so what we're going to talk about today is, because I always like to sort of look at what we're doing on social media in terms of 3 sort of buckets, right? Our cold, our warm, and our hot leads, because we cannot and won't treat them all the exact same. Because a cold lead, someone who's maybe brand new to us, or somebody who doesn't really engage with us too often, has never expressed interest, they need to be warmed up a lot more than a warm and a hot lead do. Those people, we need to move more directly into sales conversations, more directly getting them into rapid funnel and letting that do the work for you. Really what we do on a social media front is prospecting. It's finding new people and warming up the current people that follow us, so then we can funnel them over somewhere else. And this was a conversation that Patty and I, for example, had at length the other day. And like, how can we continue as, you know, trainers, especially, you know, like Tim and I, Mike, Rapid Funnels, how can we work together as a team? And so you guys understand a really like clear formula, right? Like, how do I help you prospect and find new people online? You know, how does Tim really help you warm up and turn that prospect into a lead? And then how do you close that lead within Rapid Funnels? And so you're going to see a lot of that really cool transitioning. And so this is kind of what we're going to talk about today, is we're going to talk about how do I, or how should I show up and work with each of these 3 buckets. And it's important that we're always considering our leads in that way. If you blanket market, which means like, I'm going to do the same marketing for everyone, I'm going to have the same strategy for everyone, you're not going to get the type of return that you might expect. We, just as much as our customer service needs to be catered and tailored to the individual experience, so does our social media. But the good thing about social media is that, you know, there could be someone, let's say we have like Avatar A, who's our cold lead. There's going to be so many more of those people, right? And so we target a specific message to them. Warm market, we work with in a different way. And hot leads, those are people that you just need to be getting on the phone with, right? Like that you need to be getting into rapid funnels right away. They're not even people that you're marketing to, right? Those are people that are already convinced. They just need you to say, like, here's how you check out with me. So we're going to talk all more about that. So like I said, in the summer months, in the direct sales industry, in retail in general, we typically report that there is a slump in sales during the dreaded J months. That's what they're known as in the industry, the dreaded J. Even when I worked exclusively like for a corporate company, I remember, and even, you know, being at DSA events and things like this was often a topic of conversation. Like, what do we do during the dreaded J's? June and July, typically the time where we see a dip in sales. And that is because people are, you know, going outside more. It depends where you obviously are in the world, but if we're thinking mostly North America, then, you know, the weather's warming up. People are becoming more active. People are doing more things. They're not sitting at home, like cuddled up on their couch in the winter, shopping on their phone, things like that. So very, very typical. We even see this in the service-based industry, right? I also own a dance business as an entirely different business. And at this time, we see a massive dive in attendance for classes because it's sunnier longer. People don't want to come to class. They want to go like sit outside in their backyard. They come home from work and they still have time to garden where they didn't, you know, have that sort of sunlight in like the winter. They're sitting out on patios. They're going for hikes and walks and doing things like that. And so it's important that we just understand, like, what is it that my customer is doing currently right now? What is taking them away from their phone? What is taking them away from their regular habits and routines? And how can I make sure that I now cater my experience to that? How can I make sure that I now show up in those situations? And I think that Manatech is at a really, you know, interesting space within the industry in this regard, because you're a health and wellness company, right? And so people do in the summer still take their health and wellness even more seriously. They're more likely to go on bike rides, to go swimming, to go on walks. You know, we're drinking more water, we're eating more fresh foods, we have more access to local produce. We're thinking a little bit differently in terms of like, oh, let's just order a pizza tonight. And I don't know, for most of us, we're like, you know, in the backyard by our pool sitting in bikinis, and the last thing that we want to do is order a combo from McDonald's. We're more likely to build, you know, go to the farmer's market and build like a beautiful, like robust salad, eat things that are a bit lighter, keep us less bloated and able to move around. And so that's one thing that is really important to remind yourself, that like your type of product and industry is still at the forefront of people's minds in the summer. It means though that you have to stay consistently in front of them. So let's look at our cold leads. I did some fun slides this time. Like the last one, we'll do some fun little images. So we got a girl here, she's all cold and working. So what is our cold leads? These are brand new potential leads, but not always. Sometimes the brand new potential lead can come in as a warm lead right away, even sometimes as a hot lead, depending on how we meet them. But new people that we're just starting to expose ourselves to, friends of friends, you know, people who follow us on social media, but they're not really engaging in what I call second level content. Second level content would be like joining your Facebook group, right? Like they may like a selfie you post, or they may like a photo of your grandkids, or like, oh, that's nice that like they did this in their garden. But when you post a business post, they're not really engaging. They may just be more engaging with you personally and not necessarily in your secondary, second level business content of you as like a business owner. So those are your cold leads. And so when we think about how do I work with them, and I'm starting with them, but this is always the group I essentially want you to almost be working with last. Okay. And the reason being is that why would you go try to warm up a cold lead, right? you wouldn't, if you had a storefront, you wouldn't run out onto the street and try to convince someone on the street to come into your store. When you have people in your store or in line ready to check out, you would service those people first, right? We're going to always pick the lowest hanging fruit, who's quickest and most ready to do business with us. So we're starting with cold, but this is, you know, kind of what we're going to work with last, but it just kind of goes into our entire like general marketing. So also why I'm sort of starting with it first. So those are our cold leads. So what are some strategies that I can do to engage cold and new leads this summer? So number one, some simple things. Update those social billboards. We talked about this week one of training I ever did. And so you can go back and scroll all the way back to what did Lindsay talk about week one? And I talked about building your business billboard. And that was essentially making sure that your social media page talk and spoke for you, right? So that people, when they came to your page, they knew exactly what it is that you offer and what it is that you do. And so during the summer months, even just updating those to reflect something a bit more summary, whether that is like you're doing a challenge, which we'll talk about, whether it is like you just want to update maybe your branding, you want to make it more colorful, like more energetic, right? Because these are important things for a variety of reasons. Number one, it shows people that we're still working our business. Anytime you make a change, even to your cover photo, for example, and I changed mine yesterday because I wanted to take a screenshot for this presentation. And I wanted to give you guys a bit of like insight and like, how does even just something as changing my cover photo, how does that lead to more business and more interest and more engagement for myself? And so I'll show you that case study in a moment, but just even updating it, you're giving a notification to Facebook, right? Lindsay Tompkins changed her cover photo. People are able to see that, right? It may come up in their newsfeed. And if it's bright, fun, summery colors, it tells people, I got fun stuff for you to do with me this summer. When we're not always changing, you know, maybe our cover photo, we're never updating it, things can become stale. And sometimes people often wonder, are you still working the business? Right? This is especially true, obviously, if we do something a bit more catered to the season that we're in. For example, if you still have a cover photo from Christmas still up there, people may assume like, I'm not really sure that they're doing much of their business right now because they haven't updated anything since they were talking about the holiday season. And so that can be that little nudge to your customers of, hey, like I'm working, there's different things that are happening. Plus like that fun, bright colors can like really build people's energy. And why is this important? Like number one, you're gonna get that notification out there. You're gonna trigger, you know, people to see a little bit more about what you're doing. But as you continue to engage, we've talked about this before, but one thing I think that a lot of us, myself included, one thing that typically we drop the ball on when it comes to social media, because you should really be able to utilize social media for your business in like an hour a day. This is not something that you need to spend all day long on, but even 10 to 15 minutes a day on interacting on other people's posts and in different groups. Very, very important in building our circle of influence, right? And so maybe you're a part of a local group for, you know, I'm recently in a bunch of different groups now for moms, for example, in my local area that do different like meetups. I'm in more buy and sell groups right now because we are going through a renovation. As you can kind of see right here, we need to drywall this section. We just knocked down a wall right there. But we're selling a lot of our furniture. We're selling a lot of our things. We bought all new appliances for our kitchen. And so we're selling our fridge and our stove and things like that. And so when I'm interacting, even not from a business perspective, I'm interacting in those groups and I'm providing value, whether it's I'm selling a stove or I am, you know, talking about something in my pregnancy, or I have a question about birth, maybe I'm asking in a local group. When I'm providing value and interacting, people do what? Click on your name and go to your page. And the amount of times that I have had people message me and say, hey, like I saw you in this group, totally unrelated. I wasn't talking about business training or anything like that. And I saw what it is that you do. Or, oh, like I saw that you had shared a memory where you were speaking for this company. I used to sell for that company. These things happen. We make connections that way with people, right? And so it's important to update those. Just give your social media a little bit of a fresh look. Not only will it, like I said, trigger the algorithm you're posting, give a notification to people that like you're doing something fun. Not only will it, be this like, fresh look for new people to check out, it's going to make you recommit to your business. The more action that we take, like even just you changing your cover photo is you engaging in growth in your business. It's telling you like, all right, I'm doing something this summer, right? I did that for myself. Like, okay, I got June and July before, hopefully I have all of July before this baby comes. And I want to make sure that I maximize my J months. And so it's time for me to share what it is that I'm doing in the summer. You guys know me. I am a share first, build it after you've posted it, right? Like tell people what you're going to do and then start building it versus spending all this time going, oh, I need to brainstorm what it is that I'm going to do. And I'm going to sit on my computer or I'm going to, come up with all these different ideas. And then once I create all the content for it, then I'll let people know. Quick, messy content, just get it out there, nice and simple. So updating your social media graphics, an easy thing that you can do. Another thing you can do is use summer themes in your marketing. So this is something important when I talk about how do I make sure that I'm like changing the conversations that I'm having. How do I make sure that, I'm not just saying the same thing that I do every year. Plus, we want to make things fun and exciting for people. During the summer, people are going to give you less of their time. 100% less of their time. And so the time that you do get from them, you have to make it something that they want to see. So whether that's using like theme parties or theme events, maybe you're taking one thing that came up on a call the other day, which I thought was just like so cool. And I can't remember who asked, Arlene, was it you that asked the other day about different like recipes and things like that, even too for like, is that you that asked?
Yeah, I was asking for some gluten-free recipes.
Yeah. So even like, we were talking on a call the other day in a corporate meeting, just about different things that like we can do with the products, right? And so like one was like turning, like the life sticks into popsicles, adding like Mana Bears even into the mold of a popsicle. Obviously like using like Impact as a slushie, for example, like things like that. If you can do fun little change up so that people think about what do they want to drink, what do they want to eat, what do they want to do in the summer, just by even shifting that, right? You can talk about like the life sticks over and over and over and over again, but it's not going to hit people every time, right? You have to start to shift towards the summer mentality. How do I want that to be? If you're going to do any in-person events, if you're going to do, I'm a huge event person. I love doing, even though social media is obviously my thing, I love connecting with people in real time after I've connected with them on social. And I continue to nurture that relationship there. But I love doing in-person events in the summer. So hosting things like, like a mimosa brunch or something like that, where you're doing a fun like popsicle or like slushy sort of thing where they get to come and try the product, right? You can do something even like in your local neighborhood. You can do something like look up in your town, like who's doing fundraiser walks this summer. And how can I like literally set up like an Impact, like lemonade sort of stand at a fundraiser and say like, I would love to like participate in your walk. I see you're doing a 5 or 10K walk and it's for charity. And I would love to donate, some of this product and to have a booth there and to have this, as for runners as they run by, and you can have your information out there. Right? It's about going like, how can I get connected and how can I present my products in a way that people already are going to be using them or they're interested in using them. Obviously showcasing summer products, like I said, like going, what is like really summery right now? We have to sometimes, think like we have our premium products, right? We have like the top of the top, like Manipul, etc. that we would absolutely love to get people on. But sometimes people need a secondary product to come into the business on. And a drink is always going to be one of the easiest ways, or skincare, right? Like any of like the Ember Zone, things like that, very, very easy to get involved with because you see the benefit right away. Like, I really enjoy the taste of this, or, oh, this like really soothed my sunburn, things like that. So pushing some of those products during the summer even more, knowing that as we get closer to September, when people's minds start to go more towards, I have new goals for my health, then we can start to push some of our other products a little bit more heavily, because now these are hot leads that have enjoyed drinking Impact or Plus, or Life Sticks all summer long, right? And they're like, oh, I just like really liked Ember Zone, and that right there is how to get them into the door. And so going, what are some of these things? And I really love bundling products as well, right? Instead of selling one, why would you sell one if you can sell three? And it doesn't have to be a bundle that even Manatech provides you with a discount. You just have to put 3 products together and market and showcase that, right? I used to do that all the time in my makeup business. In fact, I rarely ever used collections that were available from the company because they did have big discounts. And I wanted to sell each product at the retail price so that I would make more. And so I always would bundle 3 to 5 products together. And that's what I push. I'd say, this is my summer special. This is like, my summer product focus. And I would be consistent towards pushing that. And that's one thing to think about when you're using summer themes in your marketing, is to be consistent with it. Don't try for one day, give up and move on to something else. Right? Sometimes we feel like we're throwing spaghetti against the wall, but it's going to take time. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep having that conversation. And again, this is for our cold leads, right? Our warm and hot leads, how are you going to best service them? Through follow-up. Other themes, just share your lifestyle. This is really great for recruiting. We'll talk about this when we get to hot leads especially, but to show like that you are, this is our last Saturday, but if you're outside right now on your patio, the next call that comes up, go outside and do it on your patio. Check in from your phone and take a photo of that and say, like, this is why I love my business. I had somebody on my Instagram today. She is an entrepreneur, not in direct sales, but she was posting herself at the beach and she's on vacation. And she said, this right here, this moment right here is why I chose entrepreneurship. Because I have been able to work my business from my phone while laying by the beach on vacation. And it creates the allure for it. Like, you have to live the lifestyle and share the lifestyle that you want in the summer. What do people want? What are people thinking about in the summer? They want to stay on vacation. They don't want to go back to like working their 9 to 5. They enjoy like their weekends. They're spending more time with their family. They're like reconnecting with their partner. They're connecting with their body in new ways. They're having a lot of fun, and people live for the summer. It's how people live for the weekends, right? That time off. Yes, family play, being in nature, all those sort of things. Really, that's what people really want to do. And so the more you can go do those things and say, like, this is how I'm working my business. Because of this business, I'm able to have not just flexibility, but the lifestyle that I want to have. It means that I get to, in the middle of the day, go take my kids or grandkids for a hike if I want to. I can jump on a training call, and I don't have to be at my desk with my boss standing over my shoulder. I can be outside on my patio. I can be at the beach. I can be doing whatever it is that I want to do. And so showcasing more of that. It's a lot about planting the seeds of, this is how I'm living my summer, and you could have access to this too. And so really creating the allure for having that side gig in their life, and that they can build into something a lot bigger than that. Challenges, activities, example, like, Impact every morning with a bike ride, like having that consistent sort of activity that you're going to pair with a product you're going to do. I heard through like the grapevine this week that I believe it's Al's cousin or maybe his cousin is doing like a burpees sort of like world record he's trying to break. He's in his 50s. He's like trying to do the most amount of burpees, and he takes Impact every single day, right? And so when you see that, you start to correlate the two, and you're like, wow, like this, you know, this man in his 50s is going for a world record. He already has it in like deadlifting and something else. So he's like very, very into this, but uses the product to really sustain him. So if you like love going for bike rides, if you love going for morning walks every single day, right? Really incorporate this. My mother-in-law called me yesterday and she was like, okay. She's like, my favorite thing to do right now is to wake up and go sit in the backyard, garden's all planted, and have my morning coffee. And she goes, and I have to tell you, I ran out of my Manatech coffee a few days ago, and it's not the same. She's like, I had a regular coffee and I like hate it now, because she loves it so much, because she's created this like routine with it. And something she's done over and over again. Something very simple for you to do, right? Is to just every morning, if that's what you're going to do, or, you know, whatever, pick your product. I've said this before. If you're going to take your supplements, go live and do it every single day. Every single day. I don't care if your Facebook Live is 2 minutes long. Go live every single day while you're taking your product and tell me what you're going to do that day. Even you saying like, oh, you know, I'm just, hey, everyone, happy Tuesday. You know, taking my supplements. I got my Impact ready to go, and I am going for a walk today with my husband, or I'm going to the water park with my grandkids. I hope you guys have an amazing day. That's it, right? It doesn't always have to be like, let me tell you about this product, but just showing that you're using the product and then you're going to go do something fun. People start to what? Their brains correlate the two. Right? They go, ooh, I like really want to have that sort of day, or she's really energized, he's really energized. Okay. So here's an example of just changing up your cover photo, like I said, right? Like just changing up a bit of your marketing. So I put rank up your summer. Okay. And so I was making these slides yesterday and I thought, you know what, I'm going to change mine up and kind of see what happens. And I did this yesterday evening, and I had 15 new people when I woke up this morning trying to join my Facebook group. I had 2 people ask me if I had any spots for coaching left in the summer. All because all I did was change this up. I used a language that I knew my audience would be interested in, and I used bright colors. It showed people like, oh, Martha said, did you have your weddings? A random aside question. No, we had to reschedule it because we had restrictions for lockdown. So yeah, that's the answer for that. And I can't wear any of my rings right now also because I am so swollen. And so they don't fit. But yeah, so even just changing this, it gave that notification and it showed people she's doing something fun for the summer. And what I'm doing is just for next week, I'm just going to go live every day in my Facebook group, Monday to Friday, and I'm going to be giving some free summer sales training. It's a way to start pulling people over, right? And that was just 15 people overnight. Like I'm going to keep posting and getting people in there. I'm going to get people bringing their friends in there. And it's a really great way for me to re-engage my current group. Just by saying, hey, here's some free tips. Now, this is great for a cold lead who's starting to warm up and be interested. Someone who joins my group, I've told you guys, are warm and hot leads because they're saying, I'm interested in what it is that you're doing. Right? And so that can be one strategy. It could be, like I said, I'm just going live every day. I'm just giving tips. I'm not sitting here going, oh my goodness, like how am I going to, I need to sit down and create all this content now for an entire week. I'm just going to click the live button and share from my experience and my expertise with a daily challenge every single day. You know your products, you know your business. You have to get out of your own way and thinking that you need to go research a bunch of things or learn a bunch of things or sit down and spend hours and hours. just to share something when you already know it. Each and every one of you, if I asked you a question right now, I'm sure you could answer it. If I said, you know, like, Arlene, what's a suggestion for being more consistent with taking supplements every day? I'm sure you'd have an answer. You know, if I said, you know, Tony, how can I, you know, improve like my gut health this summer? She would have an answer. Even if it's a small answer, even if it's one small tip. Again, people this summer, if they're going to spend time with us, we want them to what? Have fun, and it has to be fast. People do not want to do 10 steps a day. Give them one thing to do, one thing that can really like start to get them to engage with you. And again, it's not just about, is this content going to make them buy? We've talked about this before. Marketing doesn't always create sales. Selling does. But marketing allows us to see who to sell to, right? So one good tip on Monday, and whoever comments on it, that's who I would follow up with and go, hey, how can I support you this summer with your health and wellness? Get them into a conversation, get them into rapid funnel, right? Only action is income producing. Yes. Yes, Tanya, this is so important. Only action is income producing, not sitting at home and brainstorming, not going, oh, I need to, you know, even this, I went to Canva, guys, and it took me like 2 seconds. Don't even overthink your cover photo. Who cares? Use some yellows and some reds and some blues and some oranges and whatever. Throw a flamingo on there or some fruit, right? Just make it lively. Yeah, just move forward and give it a go. People are not judging that much. And then I updated this little intro right here. Join my free summer sales training here. Once somebody goes to my page, first thing that they see, it's why, even overnight, I have 15 new leads now. If I was like selling a product right this second, you best believe that all those 15 people plus 2 who literally said like, how can I work with you right now? I'd have 15 people I'm following up with today, and I'd have 2 people I'm closing today because I changed my cover photo. Okay, so strategies for engaging those cold leads. Number 1, creating shareable content. So we talked about this a few weeks ago in terms of education. You know, reels are really great right now. The shocking, I didn't know that facts. I think it was Arlene actually who asked a question on our last call about how do I use this like educational content to get someone interested in recruiting. And I said, don't just talk about the gig economy. Say, did you know that X amount of women left their jobs this year? Give them a shocking fact that's going to pull them in because people are scrolling social media. They're like looking very quickly. It has to be thumb stopping. It has to make them go, I'm interested in learning about this. So have those like really, you know, impactful sort of posts. And the draw me in lifestyle, share like what your lifestyle is, share what it is that you're doing. That's going to get connected to what people want most this summer, right? Is fun, energy, activity, focus on those things. And I kind of already mentioned this, but get connected in summer activities and networking. So not all social media networking needs to start on social media. A lot of times we can find new people in our community, invite them back to our social media, and that's how we continue to nurture them. So the summer boasts things like fairs, vendor events, social gatherings, conferences, networking events, fundraisers. There's more walks going on than ever before. How can you get involved? Right? M5M is such a special place in everybody's heart and it's such a compelling reason for so many of you to continue to work your business. It would, for a lot of you, it's what drew you to the business. And the same thing, you know, for other people. How can you as a local team, people in your area that are part of Manatech, how can you get together and do something for M5M? You know, doing like the road show and the regional events that are happening. How can you get involved? How can you promote that? How can you show up? Right? It's about really creating that experience. You can get involved in, right now, I even saw, again, because my whole feed is all about mom stuff right now. In my local area, they started fit stroller thing. So it's like moms who get together and they work out and they go on runs with their strollers that use like their babies as like, you know, body weight and stuff like that. If I was a Manatech associate, those are people that I'd be reaching out to that are doing these boot camps, going, how can I get involved in what it is that you're doing? Here's what I do. Here are the products that I offer. Here's how I like, you know, service my clients. I'd love to come and to one of your events, one of your workout classes. And in turn for letting me pass out some information, I would love to gift everyone in your class, maybe there's 10 people, and, you know, 3 samples of Impact. Right? I'd love to like show up and do that, right? You can really like connect together. Businesses are always looking for collaboration in the summer, because remember, all businesses, for the most part, see a dip in sales. So they're wanting to be more creative and more collaborative with people in their local area. How can I get involved? It could be one thing that you do a month. Okay. All right. Let's talk about our warm people. Hold on, who do we got? Here, making noise. Okay. Awesome. So your warm leads are, these are leads who found you through recent content, and they're engaged users that have never bought from you. So people that are like just almost, you know, like they're almost there. They're not quite ready, but they're definitely interested. They're engaging in a lot more of your content. They maybe just joined your Facebook group if you said you're doing a fun little challenge. You know, maybe they took a sample from you at a fundraising walk that you're, you know, a part of, etc. What do I do with them? Number 1, fun free challenges. This is a really great way to push people over the edge. This can be focused on education. Like, for example, the one I'm doing is based on education, right? Come learn some sales strategies to get you through June and July, right? Every day I'm going to go live. It could be products, right? It could be like every day I'm going to share a must-have summer product with you. Or it could even just be accountability, right? I'm doing a 5-day like kickstart your summer challenge. It's to get us like, maybe you have 3 activities that people need to do daily. Or haven't you guys even ever heard of, what's it called? 75 Hard. Any of you ever heard of that? Look that up if you haven't. It's like a daily sort of growth mindset challenge where I believe you're supposed to do like 2 workouts a day, drink a certain amount of water, read at least like 10 pages of a personal development book, and cut out like junk and things like that. And so it has these sort of like, you know, this is what we do every single day. And Derek and I have done it before. And it like really helped in keeping us focused and checking things off the to-do list, because we're busy people. If you just tell me like, oh, I want to try to be more healthy this summer, what does that even mean? I need the actions associated with it. Tell me A, B, C. So maybe you do an accountability challenge like that, where you're like, every day we are going to drink X amount of water. We're going to take our supplements, and we're going to, you know, get in 10,000 steps a day. I want to create this accountability group and something that, yeah, Ira did do 75 Hard. I remember that too. Right. And that's, you know, I love like even how Ira runs his Facebook group, because he uses a lot of, obviously he's like a fitness instructor. And so he leans on that too, but he brings people in. I remember at the very beginning, he asked me, Lindsay, should I have 2 different groups? Should I have one for, you know, like my fitness and my pound and things like that, and a separate one from Manatech? And I said, no, like combine it all together. It's like one feel. Get people in like, hey, I'm doing a free workout, but talk about like, you know, it's 80% is what you put in your body, 20% is what you do with your body. And so how can you assist them also in not only like with their fitness, but also with their nutrition? And so when it comes to even us, we don't have to know how to put on a workout class. It can just be go for a walk. I'm going to encourage people, especially if, you know, you have a lot of people that are maybe like not able to be super active. It's like, okay, let's just go for a walk every day, drink water, and take our supplements. And then you can showcase that summer bundle that you've decided to put together. Here are my 3 products, and use these 3 products every day. That's it. Nice and simple challenge, right? And get people signed up for those products. Who's taking the challenge with me? Who's committing with me? right? Talk about commitment, like do what you say you're going to do. You showed up to this group. You're telling me you want to live a healthier lifestyle this summer. You want to create some better habits this summer. Here's how you're going to do it. And I'm going to use these 2 products. You got to grab them today. Send me a message. Let's get you, signed up for your order. And then we're going to do accountability for this entire week. Nice and simple. All you have to do is a check-in every day. Who got their steps in, who drank their water, who took their supplements, etc. So that is something you can do, right? And these are strategies that I'm giving you. So it's not one strategy, because it's not one strategy is going to fit all, depending on your customers, depending on your skill sets. So don't think you need to do each and every one of these things. It's just about selecting 1 or 2 of these things. Events. So using any regional events or other events to show off Manatech, anything you do with your group. Because remember, warm leads, they don't need to be like taught why is this important. It's why should I join right now? And so even showing the camaraderie, showing that like you're connected with other people. People are, again, more social in the summer than ever before. People want to go to patios. People want to go for walks. They want to go to the beach. Do you know how many people don't have people to do that with? So start inviting people. Maybe I told you guys I used to go to a coffee shop every Friday and just tell people I was there from 7 to 8 in the morning. And if they wanted to come have a coffee with me before work and network and, ask me any questions about what I do, I was going to be there every Friday, 7 to 8 in the morning. Some weeks nobody came, and guess what? I just worked on my laptop, had a coffee, went back home. Many times people did come, right? And I was able to have those things. So maybe it's like, hey, I'm going to grab a cup of tea, an iced tea or a lemonade at this patio every Saturday morning, or every Saturday morning, I'm going to do a walk around the pier. Meet me at 7 a.m. at the gazebo if you want to join me, right? Be actually active in your community. You can't think that like you're going to be a business owner by name only and do no actions and not interact with your customers and not interact with your local community. If you're like, I don't know why I'm not growing, but all you do every day is wake up and do your household chores and do your obligations and then show up to a training and post to social media one graphic about your product, you can't, this is some tough love right now. That's not you being an entrepreneur. That's you being a super fan of Manatech. That's you saying, oh, I love this product. Here's one post. You have to actively have a CEO mindset. You have to go like, how am I going to build this? This is why I've been so successful so far, even at a really young age, in my early 20s, because I went out there like right away and I was like, I need to see the people and I need to really build this. Even my other business, my second business that I built, I got little cards made up and I went everywhere all over the city and I dropped them off at every business. I dropped them off in gym change rooms. I would go to the mall and leave them in the bathroom. Like I did not care what anybody thought about me seeing my name all over these cards all over my city. I didn't care because I'm like, I'm trying to build something for myself. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I want to work for myself. And so push yourself to get out there and connect. Reality series, again, showing off your summer lifestyle as an entrepreneur can be really great recruiting seeds. Really great saying like, hey, today I working out from the patio, working out from the backyard. If this is something that you're interested in learning more about, send me a DM right now. That's all sometimes it has to be. But you have to always be inviting. Remember, calls to action. If you don't tell people, send me a message and ask me more information, they're not going to. Push summer products and do it daily. Same sort of thing with the cold. And then hosting theme parties, make them fun, short, and exciting. Anything that you're doing, whether it's online or in person, and surrounding it with an event or an activity can be, even better. So whether that is, I'm gonna partner with like a charity. I'm going to do an M5M fundraiser this summer, focus it on something else other than like, oh, do you want to like buy from me? No one wants to go to a hotel anymore and listen to like a business presentation and just sit there. People want to be active. They want to go to a boot camp class. They want to go to a fundraising walk. They want to do, help you pack for M5M things. Like they want to be involved in that. We're a lot more like mission community oriented in the summer months. We're more connected to our community. So show up in that way. Even local farmers markets, a lot of times you can even book a table there, right? And so get out there, get your name and your business out there. So this was even my caption on my cover photo that I had done last night. And it's just saying like what it is that I'm offering, right? So I won't read the whole thing, but it's just, I got lots on my sleeves. This is really fun and exciting. I'm doing this for an entire week. Come join. And like I said, I had just overnight, I did this last night. I didn't even expect anything today. I was like, oh, I'll post it again today and see kind of what happens. But we've got 15 people today, 2 people messaging wanting to find out more about working with me. They don't even want to do the free stuff. They're like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to pay you money. How can you help me? But you have to say, do this, go here. I'm doing this. I'm offering this. Hot leads. These are people who are ready and primed to work with you. You want to move these people directly into things like DMs and rapid funnel. Because remember, if you let the water boil too long, it will what? Think about it. Pot on a stove. If you let the water boil too long without adding anything to it, what will happen to that water? What's the word? It will
disappear, boil out.
Yeah, it'll boil out. It'll evaporate. This is what we do to so many of our people. We do so much marketing. You put in so much effort. You put that water, that content, you find all those people, you put it in there, you turn up the heat, you're giving like all this awesome stuff, and you don't ever close. You don't throw the pasta in. You don't throw the corn in. And the water boils out. And then suddenly you have a burnt pan. Right? Like that's what you're doing to your business. That's what you're doing to your hot leads. They're sitting there like, hello, when is the next step? Your hot leads, get into conversation with them. Anyone who's expressed interest, who's currently worked with you this year, these are people that you need to talk to right now in the summer. Why? Because we need to tell them why summer is the best time to actually start a business. Right? So what are reasons to talk to them right now? Well, number one, you guys have events that are coming up, right? We have some different regional events that are happening. And so invite something exciting for them to come to. Getting people excited about even manifest in the next few months. Like now is the best time to start. People are most sociable and happy during the summer. They're more likely to talk to you. I said this during the holiday season as well, during Christmas. Send as many messages as possible because people's moods are increased and they're more likely to have a conversation with you and be nice about it. Send more messages than you ever have. Let people know that right now is the best time to start. Because even for that, they're more sociable and happy. Let them know, like right now is the best time to start a business because you're going to be seeing people more than you ever have. It's a great time to launch. Right? You can launch with like a fun little like backyard party for your friends and family. You're going to be seeing, maybe going to a family picnic reunion, or you are going to your your trailer park, or you're going up to your cabin, or you're going to your vacation home, and you have those whole different sets of community that you're a part of. Right? People are primed, like Martha just said, people are primed to interact because of COVID fading away. Yes, people are like itching to do it now because it's nice. We want to be outside. We feel like less nervous about things like masks, all that sort of stuff. So let people know right now is the best time to join because people are really sociable right now. You're going to be seeing the most amount of people. It's a great time to let them know that you started a new business. They can learn before the biggest selling season. Let people know, like, right now is the best time for you to join. I don't care how busy you are this summer. Oh, we're going away. We're doing this. We're doing that. That's great. That's, the benefit of this business. Remember, every objection that they give you, turn it into a positive. Oh, I'm so busy. I don't know, Shirley, I'm so busy. That's great. I love working with busy people because you actually get stuff done. I'm not looking for people who procrastinate all day long and who have hours and hours of time to give to it because this is an action-based business. And I find busy people are the only people that really actually take action. Why they're busy. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm away a lot this summer, so I can't like plug in too much. That's okay, because this is a great time to get your feet wet, while you're away, to start letting some people know what it is that you're doing. And the biggest selling season is in, September to November. So we see a big, chunk of our sales. And I want you to feel confident going into that selling season. So I don't want you to wait until September when your kids are back at school and you feel like you're in a better routine. Let's start it right now. Turn everything they say into a positive. Yes, that's great that you have to do that. I love that. That's awesome that you're going away. That's awesome that you're never home. Right? Compliment them on that and make it into, this is a positive for your business. And really like pushing that it's the best time to get started before the busy selling season really, really, really works. That's how I would always recruit in the summer. Learn while you earn, but before, I want you to come in. I tell people, we're going to launch you. We're going to do some soft launches. We're going to get your first few customers. Let's find you, your first 2 associates. Because come September, I'm like, girl, it's time to hit the floor. There's no time for pitter pattering or trying to figure out how to put it in order. I want you to do that this summer. You're going to figure out how to do all this so that you can maximize the biggest selling season of the entire year. Why wouldn't you? I'd say, I know you're a smart business person. I know that makes logical sense to you. Again, complimenting them, telling them this is smart and you are smart. Focusing on summer projects and, health conscious and mindful. It's, again, people are so much more health conscious right now for a variety of reasons, post-pandemic, vanity, right? The summer months, we think oh no, I should have taken a little bit better care of myself the last few months. We're wearing less things and less clothes, and we're out, in bathing suits a lot more often and things like that. And people are just, they're wanting to move their bodies a lot more. And so it's a really great time for you to show up. Things to remember about the summer. You need to get creative. You can't work your business in the summer the same way you may be able to work your business at any other time of year. How can I get creative? How can I get out into my community? Flexible, short conversation, right? People don't want to spend an hour, even I know you guys are all here right now. But how many of you feel a little excited that this is also kind of the last one because you get to enjoy your full Saturday next week? Right? There's a part of you that really thinks that. That's I'm really excited, to kind of have a bit of my Saturday back. It doesn't mean that you don't value the information. It doesn't mean that you don't think that this is still necessary as a part of your weekly, routine. It doesn't mean that you don't want different ways to work with me. But you want things to be short and actionable. Offer helpful services. Another really, really great way to connect with people. For example, offering to come over and help somebody, a customer. Hey, why don't I come over and we can, or a service that I'm offering this summer, guys, is I come over to your house and we completely go through your supplement and nutritional and health cabinets. We find where the holes are missing and what you currently have. We'll get you set up with the right products, and we can help organize and get you set up for success. People want helpful services. It's not I don't want to come to your training for 5 days and learn how to set up my supplements. If you can just come and do it for me, right? You can say with the purchase of a product, it creates a complimentary service of I come over and I help you sort through this. Plus, you could have a friend also, or somebody, or a good customer that you do it with, and you say, I'd love to offer you a free little product, or it's a complimentary service for you if you also let me go live on Facebook while we do this. Bing, bang, boom. You know what I mean? So get creative with yourself. What are things that I can do? What are different things that I can show up and help people with, right? Partner with your community, like I said, and schedule your work and play, right? You guys don't want to be working all summer long either. So be intentional about when it is that you're going to work and when it is that you're going to play. How are you going to enjoy that time? Because that's why we're entrepreneurs, right? Is for the time flexibility. I saw a funny reel the other day that said, you quit, it was something like you quit a 9 to 5, you become an entrepreneur because you don't want to work a 9 to 5 and work 40 hours a week. But instead, you now work 24/7, or you work 24 hours a day. Like, we have this like glamorization of entrepreneurship, and we choose it for flexibility, but then we end up spending all day long working our business, and we get burnt out anyway. And so be really intentional with yourself this summer too. Like, schedule that time. But when you're scheduled to work, baby, work. Working is not organizing your desk before you decide to make the call. Working is not watching the training and then going, this is good enough. You showing up to this training is not good enough. It is not a check mark off of your income producing activity. It is not going to create anything unless you put it into action. And so schedule that time, right? I was going to do a breakout, but obviously I did not think that this was not planning this out very much. So what I want you to do, next steps, is I want you to audit your lead list. I want you to identify. You need to always be working with your lead list. Hot, warm, cold. Who do I got? Right? And if you're like, I don't really got a lot of people on my hot and my warm list, it means that you need to lean into one of the cold strategies more. I need to find some new people. Right? Quickest way to find people though, guys, in person, finding a walk, finding some sort of event going on, partnering up with a local boot camp or whatever it is. I'm telling you, quickest way. Lowest hanging fruit first. Start with your warm and your hot list, then do your cold, and continue to share what it is that you're doing this summer. Be really present. Go live often, consistently, right? And what I want you to do is I want you to pick out a summer theme. This is what I was going to have you guys commit to each other. And so I'm going to have you commit to this before you decide, like, once we end this call in a moment, it's not, okay, great, like, I'm going to go garden and then I'm going to think about this tonight. No, you're sitting down and you're doing this right here. Pick a summer like theme. Like, what is it that I want to do? Is it about giving back? Is it about connecting with people? Do I want to push certain products? What is it, like, the vibe that I want to go for this summer that I want to be consistent with? I want you to write down at least 3 people that you're going to reach out to today. Who are 3 people right now that I can, like, reach out to? Action. Think about that. Again, with the language that I shared too of why is right now the best time to start? You're most sociable and happy. You're seeing the most amount of people, and you get to learn and really figure this business out in your own time before we hit the biggest selling season of the year. Right? And then decide on either a free challenge you want to do or a service you want to offer, whether it's something like, I want to come organize for you, or I'm doing this like free little challenge in my Facebook group just to find some of those leads to have those conversations with. So while things like this can be utilized the entire year, while things like this are strategies that we've covered before, we have to, when we go into the summer, think, like I said, creatively and fun and biggest bang for our buck. And so you can't just keep working it like going along, right? It's time we're on a new bike now. Get off the current bike and get on a new one. And it's time to rev up. So don't let June and July be a slump for you, right? Even if you're busy, even if your schedule's jam-packed, even if you have a lot of vacation, go, how can I fit my business into this in a way that's creative for me? Lots of things that I am adjusting for my business. Not only do I think more on-demand stuff is going to be great for all of you, it's also kind of great for me. So I'm about to have a brand new newborn at home. So how can I get creative about how I deliver my services? How can I get creative about how I need it to be? Whether it's like I'm busy with this, that, or the other thing. Doesn't mean my business needs to stop. It means my business needs to be changed. Be strict with your goals, my friends, but flexible with your methods. I, of course, am going to continue to be here for you. Like I said, it's not like there's no me in the summer. There's lots of training coming from me still, so don't worry about that. But if you have questions, post them in Manatech North America, because not only can other people also answer your questions and not just me. When I do answer, it benefits everybody, instead of me having one-on-one conversation. So everyone gets to learn. But I hope you guys enjoyed this last Saturday training and you got some like fun little ideas up your sleeve of what you can possibly do, or even just really the confidence and the call out to get more creative with yourself this summer. Decide what you're going to do, reach out to 3 people, get them to join you, and have an amazing and lovely Saturday, my friends. You guys are so welcome. I want to hear how things go. I want to hear about you guys that go to a walk and, you know, donate some time and bring your products and all that stuff. Tell me about your collaborations. Remember, biggest thing, businesses right now, everyone's hurting. They want to collab. Connect with other businesses in your local area that can support you. See you guys next week.